Bicycles. The first drawing of what looks like one of today's bicycles was done by an Italian named Leonardo da Vinci. This drawing was done in 1493. It clearly shows a two-wheeled machine that has parts of the bicycle we know today. But a bicycle like this one, with pedals and chains, was not made until the year 1870. One of the first machines that looked like a bicycle was first seen by the people of France in 1790. It looked like a child's toy called the wooden horse, but it was much bigger and had two wheels. This machine was very difficult to ride because it had nothing to steer it or with which to pedal. The rider had to push with his feet against the ground. The rider also had to draw his feet against the ground to stop the bicycle. His feet were the only brakes. This used up too much of the rider's strength. What made things even worse was that the wheels had metal around the outside. Riding on rough roads on a wooden seat was a very bumpy and painful way to travel. In 1821, an Englishman invented a handle that could be used to spin the front wheels of bicycles, but the bicycle still did not have any pedals and people had to use their feet to push against the ground. 20 years later, a man from Scotland named K. Macmillan made the first pedal-driven bicycle. It weighed 26 kilograms and could travel at a speed of over 23 kilometers per hour. This bicycle took plenty of strength to pedal, but it was better than having to push your feet against the ground. Macmillan's bicycle went faster than many stagecoaches, and he could often ride over 64 kilometers with it. Once, his bicycle hit a little child, and he was made to pay some money. In the year 1861, a bicycle was made in France with pedals fitted to the front wheel. These had no change to spin the wheel like today's bicycles. They had to pedal these bicycles quickly, and riding made the rider very tired. But this model became well known in France, America, and England. As the years passed, better and better bicycle models were made. Bicycle racing started to become popular around 1850. The first real road race was held in France in 1869. Over 200 men entered the race. It was won by an Englishman named James Moore. In the early 1870s, bicycles made of metal became more popular than wooden bicycles. To give these bicycles more speed, the front wheels were made very tall. These were known as high bicycles. The first model of this high bicycle was made by James Starley. These high bicycles had hard rubber tires and had brakes. They also had pedals and a chain. They weighed as much as 23 kilograms. They were easier to ride than wooden bicycles and were much safer because they had brakes and a handle for steering. Getting on these high bicycles was a big problem for riders. Some of these models had a little step above the back wheel. Riders had to use this step to get on, and this was not an easy thing to do. Learners were told to get someone to hold the bicycle while they got on, or to put the bicycle against a wall. It was a very terrible thing to fall from one of these high bicycles. In 1875, J.K. Starley made his first Rover safety bicycle. This model became more popular than those before it. It looked very much like the bicycles we have today. It had wheels of the same size. The back wheels were driven by a chain, and it had good brakes and a handle to steer it. It did not weigh as many kilograms as the earlier bicycles. In 1888, another invention made riding much easier and safer: the invention of air-filled tires for bicycles and cars by Mr. Dunlop. Riding was not too bumpy with these tires on the bicycle. With this invention, bicycles became very popular all over the world. Postmen, policemen, soldiers, doctors, and other people found it an easy and speedy way to travel. It did not take as much money to buy bicycles as it took to buy a horse, and it was easier to look after. Alright, so in this episode, we looked at bicycles as a form of transportation. Write your summaries, do the quiz, and turn your answers into your teachers. Take care. I'll see you in the next episode.